All right, we talked about this in class, but I wanted to make a video in case there are some people who weren't in class so you could find out what we did. So, we're going to talk a little bit about how credit card interest is calculated. And I have linked an article where you can get your answers from. But there's one part of this that's pretty tricky, and I want to go through it with you. So, first of all, we have the question: how do credit card companies determine how much interest they're going to charge you? So, when you get to this article, go down to where it says, how do card issuers determine interest rates? So some cards have a single purchase APR for all customers. That's this part. What is APR? APR stands for annual percentage rate. So that's the percent of interest that they're charging you. But some credit card companies have a range in which of interest in which they charge you, depending on some things, and it depends on your credit worthiness, a word I've never seen before. Basically, the better your credit, the lower your rate. Well, remember what we talked about last week? You guys don't have credit. You're getting a credit card for the first time. So, guess what kind of rate you're going to get? A really high one. If you have good credit, you could potentially get a lower one. So, you really do want to consider getting a credit card at a younger age when you turn 18 and pay that balance off right away so that A, you don't become, broke and in debt, and then B, you also develop good credit so that when you really need it, you'll have a lower percentage rate. Number two, if you pay your credit card balance completely every month, does it matter what interest rate you have? Does it? You can answer that question. And how can you avoid paying interest entirely? So I want you to answer that question. But besides that, this number four, I wanted to figure out how we calculate the interest that you actually pay. Like, where the heck do you get that number from? If you look at your credit card bill and you see how much interest they charged you, how do you figure that out? So we're going to go through an example together, and there's a video here that's really, really good. I actually, yeah, I think it's fantastic. So if you like the video that's on this article better than you like me talking about it, that's
Just my
totally
credit card
fine.
interest. Here's how.
Sorry, it's this company, nerdwallet.com. Really, really good article and a really good video to help you calculate your interest. So let me show you with this example how to do it, and then you can also watch their example, two different examples, the same process, just two different amounts. So here's an example. Let's just say we're easy and we have $1,000 on our credit card, and our APR is 15.3%. How much interest are you paying? Whoops, I meant to say each month. So first, step one, you can always look back to this. We're going to do a bunch of these so you can keep looking back to these steps. Step one is figure out what your APR is. So in our example, our APR is our percent, 15.3%. Second, divide my APR by 365 to get the daily rate. So I'm going to take 15.3. I'm going to divide that by 365. And let me get my calculator. So 15.3 divided by 365, and I get 0.0419. That's good enough. Okay, hold off on that number, leave it there. Step three, calculate the average daily balance in your account over the course of your billing period. So I said this because your balance could change. Like maybe halfway through the month, you pay some of it and now your balance is lower. So there are times, and we're not going to do this today, but tomorrow we'll put that on there, that your balance might change. It might lower. Yeah. So for right now, let's just say ours is $1,000 for the whole month. We have the same balance. We don't pay any extra off. Okay. Last step, take the average daily balance times the daily rate times the days in your billing cycle. So here's how this looks. Oh gosh. Of course, I have a guy coming up. Hold on, pause this 1 second. How do I pause? Who knows? I have no idea. Sorry. I just do go out and get my dog. He was barking at the Amazon guy. Okay. So this is the weird part. Like you look at these words and you think like, I don't know what she's saying. Okay. Take the average daily balance times the daily rate times the days in your billing cycle. So let me write that out. The average daily balance, that's $1,000, times the daily rate, that's what we have up here, 0.0419 times the number of days in a billing cycle. We're going to always assume our billing cycle is 30 days. So let's see what we get. So $1,000 times 0.0419 times 30. There we go. That's way too high. I got 1257. That is not how much interest. If my bill is $1,000, there's no way they're charging me interest of 1,257. All right, so what do we do wrong? I'm going to watch the video and we're going to do this together. I'm sorry, I'm going to go through this because I just watched it to make sure I knew what I was doing. Oh, that's what we did wrong. What did we do wrong? This number up here is a percentage. So if this number is a percentage, then what do I actually have to use when I calculate? I have to do 1,000 times, I have to change that percent to a decimal. Even though it's already a decimal, it's a percentage. So it's still, if I'm going to take that percentage away, I'm going to have to make this, I'm going to move the decimal point over 2 places. So it's going to become 0.000419 times 1257. Let's see. So $1,000 times 0.000419 times, oops, not times 30. There we go. $12.57. So that's how much interest they are going to charge you for that month. So you paid $1,000, you bought a thing for $1,000, and in 1 month you already have to pay $12.57 just for the, because you haven't paid off your balance. So we're going to practice that a couple of times. So let's start with something, an amount that's totally different. Let's start with, let's say we have a credit card balance of $250. No, let's make it more. $850 balance. And let's say you have that highest percentage rate, 23% APR. How much interest do we pay each month? So let's go through these steps again. Step 1, what's your interest rate? So 23%. Step 2, divide your interest rate. So that's 23 divided by 365 and get that new percent. So this is like a daily percent. So 23 divided by 365. Atticus, be quiet. I get 0.063. Okay, calculate your average daily balance. So we're going to say our balance is going to be the same all the time. So we're going to have $850 balance all the time. Okay, and now we're going to take that average balance of $850 times our new percent, which is 0.063 times 30. So to do that correctly, I have to take 850 times, change this to an actual decimal, so move the decimal point over 2 places, 0.00063 times 30. And let's see what we get. So 850 times 0.00063 times 30. There we go, $16. And I owe 65, so 7 cents. That's how much interest you're going to pay every month. So go through the rest. I'm hoping they work out okay, and let's see. We'll see how it goes.